as I was preparing for this morning, I was looking for my tripod and I couldn't find it. And it was just, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I've lost it. And how many times, either on this journey or in our lives or people around us, that talking about loss. And I want to pause for a moment and just acknowledge the people that have lost friends and loved ones and people in their community. My heart goes out to you because we are all mourning each other's loss. But that's not the loss I'm talking about. I'm talking about lost. You know, you've lost the keys. You know, that thing that you're sure it was there, but you've lost it. So this morning I was thinking, oh my gosh, I've lost it. What am I going to do? Does that mean that, you know, it doesn't happen because, you know, I'd have to hold the device or something? But there's always another way, but B, it's about that whole perseverance and pushing through, because I'm sure that many people are thinking about the lost time. You know, that they had an agenda, they were working diligently towards their goals or their dreams or visions or what have you, but they've lost time. Look at all the time that has gone by and it's been lost. Oh, gosh, you know, how do we cope with the fact that we've lost time? I want to say to you that you haven't lost anything, because the great thing about time is that it keeps moving at the same pace. Although part of me thinks that someone has stolen a second off of each minute, so that's why things seem to go much faster. But in real terms, time continues to move at the same pace. I'm always fascinated around the whole issue of time management, because I laugh to myself, because in real terms, we can't manage time. We can manage ourselves in time, but we can't actually manage time, because whether you're having a good time or a bad time, it still moves. And so I want to suggest to you that whole issue of loss, that you reframe that. In fact, I'm the queen of the reframe. Actually, if you have, you know, that whole dark cloud, come to me with it, and believe me, I will find a silver lining, however tiny that may be, in the midst of the cloud. Because it's not about loss. It is about what can we gain? What's the richness in the stuff? So yes, COVID-19 will go down in history as almost like the lost time, you know, because actually businesses weren't operating in the same way as they were previously. People weren't able to get up and go like they were before. But, you know, in the midst of all of that, think of the richness it is that we have gained. And if you haven't thought about it like that, and if you're throwing your hands up in the air right now and thinking, do you know what? I'm going to stop listening to Carol, because richness, do you know how much it is I've lost? No. Pause and actually look at the fact that you've had to spend more time with yourself than perhaps ever before. Yeah, that's probably been a tough one. But also you've had to spend more time with loved ones than you have done previously. And it's an opportunity, and you know that I use that word a lot. It's an opportunity for you to develop those relationships, find another way of doing it. About another way about connecting. There are some sad stories of people that have been so overwhelmed by having to spend so much time together that horrible things have happened. But it doesn't have to be like that, because irrespective of whether or not you've suddenly decided, you know what, I actually don't like you very much. It's an opportunity to rekindle what it was that you liked about that person in the first place, because there must be something why it is that you're in that space together right now. So you've lost nothing, but there's the possibility of gaining everything. Unless, of course, you've lost weight. And then I think that we will all applaud you, because so many people are in this time actually getting wider. But that whole concept of lost, that we use that word in so many different ways. And so I want to challenge you to actually look at how it is that you're using that, and look at, rather than what it is that you have lost, look at how much it is that you've gained. Like so many people say to me about my lost memory, You know, is it coming back? You know, the doctor's saying that you'll have it back. And I had to stop and think about that and think about how it was that I responded to that question. And the reality is I have lost nothing, but I've gained perspective. I've gained a new energy for life. I have gained so much knowledge about myself and how it is I show up in the world. And so the seemingly lost stuff is far less than the gain. So what I'm saying to you is that wherever it is that you feel that there is loss in your life, and again, my heart goes out to anybody that's lost physical people, but wherever it is that you feel that there is loss, you know, you lost the job, you know, the business is not flowing in the way in which it is that you'd like it to, you know, you've lost clients or customers, you've lost things, actually start to now look at what it is that you have gained, and actually what can you take from that loss. So even in the loss of loved ones or friends, focus. Because we've got so much time to focus on things, and we often are focusing on the bad news, the terrible news, that yes, it is sad, and acknowledge and own that emotion, but also focus on the richness that they brought to your life. That when it is that you think about them, those crazy moments where it is that you were laughing or smiling or even crying, but then turned into laughter, focus on that. So acknowledge the loss, but focus on the gain and the fact that with them in your life, how much richer it is. Yeah. And so my challenge to you today is actually just to now look at the areas of your life, and you may not have talked in terms of loss, but there is something on the inside of you that's thinking, oh, if only, or if I had, you know, I should have, or whatever it is that the terminology is that you use. Actually start to look for what have you gained, or what could be the positive side of that. So let COVID-19 period, era, season, whatever it is that we're going to be calling this, not be a time of loss, but a time of gain. Yes, we have lost people, but we've also gained a richness in understanding, a richness in connection, in communication, in the people that you value in your life. I have got some amazing friends, and I haven't got them as a result of COVID-19, but the relationship has deepened as a result of this time. That my cousins, oh my gosh, we've got a connection and a bond that has deepened as a result of this time. And so it's not about what it is that you have lost. It's so much about what it is that you've gained. And even when it is that there is something missing, there is always another way, or there is always something that can help you to navigate that. So the sun's shining. If you are able and allowed to leave the house, please go for a walk, because it's good for you health-wise, but it's also great for me to know that actually you're out walking and I can feel that I can live vicariously through you. Whatever you're doing, have a great one. Oops. And from my heart to yours, I'm sending you lots of love. Have a great day.